I've had a few people come to look at my garden over the last few weeks, and they're amazed to see the amount of greenery and growth that's still in my garden. I guess we've had a really mild winter, and being up here in the Coromandel, we don't get many frosts, so a lot of the plants that I've actually had in the garden are still growing, and it's quite amazing to see what is here over winter. I'm still really looking forward to spring and summer though, for the second season, to see what's going to transpire here and what plants are going to grow and take up all the little gaps that might be left in my garden. So I thought we'd just do a bit of an early spring walk around. It's been one time where I've had a chance to redefine my paths, as they were really overgrown and it was quite difficult to see around. But at the same time, I've discovered the blackbirds have dug up so many plants that I'd planted, and like these shallots and some Egyptian walking onions, they're now in my path, but they can stay there until I harvest them. So I've got a lot of self seeds have come up from my borage, which is beautiful. So the bees have got some lovely blue flowers, and my Tagasestes are just in full flower, and they're just absolutely beautiful. I love them. They really are my favourite plant in my garden, I think. So the chookies are still enjoying their run, digging up all the worms and bugs. And my aronia berry here, I'm not sure if I put my hand behind, it's starting to really bud up. So hopefully this year we'll get a lot more berries than I got last year. I've had a fabulous take of my broad beans that I saved the seeds from my last year's winter crop. So I've dotted them all over the entire garden, so they're coming up really nicely. I've had some volunteer turnips or something have turned up there, so I've left them in. They'll be good chop and drop. And my mountain pawpaw has just taken off, and suddenly it's nearly as tall as me, and I'm thinking, well, when did this happen? The last thing I remember, it was only about a foot tall, and I can see inside there's actually some little flowers forming, so maybe I might get some fruit this coming summer. My little pea waka waka's back, and there's a cute little silver eye or wax eye waiting to be fed some more fruit scraps that I feed them. My blackberries, my black currants and red currants and white currants are all budding up. And at the back here I've got elderberry and some more black currants, more Tagasestes, more broad beans dotted throughout, some of my annual patches. My mulberry tree here is starting to have some shoots on it, so that can grow up. And I have never tasted a mulberry. In fact, I don't even recall seeing a mulberry, so I can't wait. I've planted a lot more rhubarb over the last few weeks, so that all my fruit trees now in the guild have got rhubarb. They've got long tap roots, so they mine the minerals up, and their great big leaves have a huge catchment of rainwater when it rains, and will funnel the water down into the centre, which is actually going to feed, at least produce a lot more water for the fruit trees. So such a valuable plant, and we love eating it. This is my Juneberry here, or the Canadian serviceberry, and it's just really grown well, and it's shooting all over. So last year I didn't get any fruit off this, any berries, so hopefully this year I might be lucky. My guava trees, I've actually picked all the guavas that were still on them because it's in flower again, and there's no way the old ones were going to survive. We did have some cool days, and so I've picked those off so that the plant can spend its energy growing this current summer's fruit, which will be great. I've got rocket that's come up all around the garden, and I adore rockets, so I love even munching on the flowers, so I might just pick one. So delicious, sweet and peppery kind of, they're lovely. I've still got my wonderful Brussels sprout plant that people cannot believe their eyes, so that can just stay there, not doing any harm, and it can maybe be a good sacrificial plant this summer for the slugs and snails. My stinging nettle's doing really well, and I'm hoping soon I'll be able to pick some and I'll make some nettle tea. That'll be nice because I really love nettle tea. It's beautiful. There's some beautiful big buds coming on my apple tree here, and I see it hasn't even completely lost all its leaves from last summer, so it's been a crazy season. And my basket willow's all shooting away, so I'm very keen in time to have a lot of that to harvest so I can learn to weave baskets. That's been one thing on my to-do list, to learn how to do that. Lemon verbena, such a lovely, lovely plant. I love the smell, I love the taste. It's gorgeous. And my great big lemongrass blew over and I've cut it right back, but I've got several others, so I'm very tempted to pull this one out, and I've frozen a lot of the lemongrass to use again. And I've still got tomatoes that have come up and they haven't been knocked back, so I've got a bit of a head start on there. With the fig tree here, I've actually plucked off all the old figs that grew in the winter time, once again to let the energies go into the new shoots that'll be coming up on that. And I dug my last yacon plant up, so that's where that was, so I'll be certainly planting a lot more of them because I just absolutely love them. My loquat is doing well, and this banana palm is probably doing the best out of all of them. This was just planted just before Christmas last year, and it was a tiny little pup, the thickness of my finger, and now it's way taller than me and it's getting a really good solid thick palm, so I would imagine this is going to throw up a pup very soon. So I've got 3 banana palms in now, so everything is just starting to shoot away. My loquat's really taken off as well. I've still got Jerusalem artichokes here. That's what these dead branches are. I've deliberately left the stalks of all my Jerusalem artichokes up high so I can remember where they all are, because I'm only digging them as I need them because I love them as well. So this is Greenhills Paradise in a quick late winter, early autumn visit, and I will just quickly walk through to the latest stage that I've just made in the garden. I've now only got a small path of grass all around the back area of the house, and so this is the new area here. So I've got a Chinese quince planted, I've got my another aronia berry, and then I've just made a bit of an annual garden here. I've moved the compost bin for now out of the chook run because I decided that I would prefer to have the juice of the compost bin going into this garden to help hasten it along so I can get some more plants planted. I've got some potatoes, 3 potatoes along the front. I've planted some garlic dotted around, so this is just, it's really not going to be suitable for planting up properly until a year's time probably. But I've made a comfrey hedge edge. I've made it all along here, and then over the other side you can just see I've got 2 lines of comfrey, so that'll be the walking in between that. And I just want to have so much comfrey that I'm just going to be able to chop and drop and use it for liquid manures the entire time. So yeah, that's probably all in a nutshell what's happening here. So things are looking really, really good. It's lovely. So until the next video, I shall say goodbye.